Hello again, my name's Lee. I'm a driving instructor working in and around Middlesbrough and Stockton. Today what we're going to do is have a drive around one of the new trial routes, the second one that takes in Flats Lane. Now I have already done a previous trial route in another video, so if you're wanting to have a look at that, check that out. It'll be obviously in the video list. So yeah, we're going to get through this one. We're going to take in Flats Lane. Again, there's going to be some pitfalls and areas to look at on the drive. So I will be doing a commentary drive with that. We'll point them out. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas what to expect if you do encounter this route on your driving test. Okay, so with that, we'll get going. So at the end of Maxwell Road, we're going to be turning onto Sotheby Road. We're turning right. So as we're passing the gates that are on the right hand side, going into the car showroom, go and check middle and right mirrors for signal to the right. Have a look through, see what's going on. Approach it in first gear with a rolling first. Keep things rolling if we can. Nothing else is coming, so I'm going to get out and start going. So on back up to Sotheby Road, we do need to pick the speed up. Get it up to 30 miles an hour where it's safe to do that. Okay, so this route is going to take us into the next road on the right. So mirror right, signal right, start slowing it down. We're turning into Wallace Road by GSF car parks. Checking the junction, everything's good. When we're turning right, we've just got to make sure that we're not going to cut across the centre line. So a good thing to think about is that if the front of your car is in line with the centre line of the road that you're turning into, you shouldn't really cut across it. Now obviously this is a Sunday, so you can see there that the road is fairly quiet. Now if it was on a weekday, you could expect to find a few parked cars on this left hand side and spaces for cars to come through heading towards you. Now obviously you've got to be sure that there's a space for you to continue, so just keep an eye out for anything coming through. At the end of the road we're turning right. So check the mirrors again, I'm going to slowly move up to it. Now on the right hand side there is a bit of a bank, so you can't really see very well what's going on. So again, you want to approach it in first gear, have a good look around, make sure it's safe to go before you do. Now at this point you might be asked to do a hill start, so you might be asked to pull up on the left. Just make sure that when you do, that you're secure in the car, you're nice and safe. And at the trunk road we are turning left. So again, when we're doing our mirror checks, we want to make sure we don't signal too early and give the impression that we're going to go into the car park. And when we come around, we've got to be aware as well that the speed limit does go to 30. It is 30 all the way along here, and there is a bike lane on the left hand side, so keep out of that. So we're going to come to some traffic lights in a moment. Now sometimes we want to be able to see what's going on. Any traffic that starts to brake in front of you, you should be able to obviously see and predict what's going to happen with the traffic lights. Alternatively, sometimes you can see the reflection of the traffic lights in the house windows that are on the right hand side. So as you come over the top of the bridge, you can always look over in that direction, see if you can see any red reflections. around the corners, be mindful not to accelerate too harshly. You want to keep it nice and controlled going through. So when we're approaching the crossings here, have a look on the left and the right, or the right, see if anybody's there to press the button. If there isn't, these aren't going to change. You can just carry on straight through. Overhead we do have a crossing, and also it is a light control junction as well, with vehicles coming out on the left hand side. Now currently the light is on in green, but I'm watchful for it. I'm keeping an eye on the person behind me, on the car behind me, and I'm just presuming that that possibly might change. Now, as I'm approaching it, I am looking over into the left-hand side as well in the junction to see if there's anybody there that could be triggering the lights. Doesn't look like it, so these have changed. Well, hopefully they'll change back fairly quickly. As we get to the end of Normanby Road, what you might find is that the cars will start to park on the left and the right. It does narrow the gaps, and it can be a little bit. I say you can get a little bit nervous getting through those gaps with cars coming at you. So we just want to make sure that we're giving enough space and looking as far ahead as we can. So I'm checking my mirrors, making sure it's safe for me to move out into the right past the cars. Now you can see there is a blue car coming at me. I'm just going to take it easy. It hasn't quite crossed the centre line, and neither have I, so we should have enough room. Now at the traffic lights ahead, we're going to be keeping it going. We're not coming off, we're not turning, we're going to follow the road ahead, and that's going to take us onto Flats Lane. So as we approach it, make sure we're using the left-hand lane. As you can see there, the right is a right-only turn. Now if you ever get a situation where the lights are changing just as you're about to cross them, it's probably at that point too late for you to stop. You know, if you were trying to stop before the line, are you stopping really harshly, and is that going to affect the cars that are behind you? If it is, you can't stop, then just keep it going. But if you can stop safely, stop. Okay, so up ahead we do have a change in the speed limit. Now the signs on this speed reduction, they're faded. You can't see what's going on, but it is a 20-mile-an-hour road, so we want to bring the speed down to 20 miles an hour. And this will be due to the school on the left-hand side. Looking at the pedestrian crossing, there's nobody on it, so we should be good. Keep it going. As we come around the bend, we can see that the speed limit does change back up to 30 miles an hour again. We've got to make sure that we don't increase the speed until after we've passed those lines. And just over the top of the bridge, you can see there that there is another 40 mile an hour speed limit coming up as well. Same thing, don't speed up too early, make sure you go on 30 up until you hit the signs, and then you can start to increase your speed. we are just about to hit the flats lane. Now up ahead you can see that the speed limit does increase to the national speed limit, which in this case would be about 60 miles an hour. Now this is a really tight and winding road, and I would not recommend at all that you attempt to get to 60 miles an hour. Mid-30s is fast enough for this road. Don't want to be going too slow. 20 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour is probably a bit too slow. 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour is probably fast enough. Now we do go up a slight bank there, so we just want to make sure as well that you are getting the correct gear for that. We're not in too high of a gear where the engine gets laboured. I'll bring your gear down probably about third, and I'll take you up the bank, get over the top of it. We are on the way down. But again, we want to keep everything controlled. This is pretty much a straight line now. We can increase the speed a little bit. Again, you are going to be coming up to a junction shortly, so you don't want to be really kind of speeding up too much to a point where you have to do a lot of harsh braking. You want to keep the car, you want to be driving economically, so that means that we don't accelerate too harshly, we're not braking too harshly either. When we're turning right at the end of this road, we want to make sure that we're checking our mirrors, we signal to the right after we've passed the entrance to the equestrian centre. Okay, keep this going, and then we're merging onto a dual carriageway, get into the left-hand lane. Right-hand lane is used for overtaking. Now, seeing as we're not overtaking anything, there's no reason to be in it. Now, this is a 50 mile an hour road, so we're getting the speed up to 50. When you're on a dual carriageway like this, you do want to be making sure that you're checking your mirrors quite frequently, because the situation can change. At the roundabout, we're turning right. It's the third exit, so let's get into the right hand lane, and then I'm going to signal to go just after this exit on the right hand side. There we go, and I'm signaling right. Now as you can see there, the speed limit changes again down to 30 miles an hour. Bring the speed down, looking over to the right hand side as we're approaching it. They've got a couple of cars, but it looks like they're turning left, so I'm good to go. Now the lanes are marked out by paint marks, they're not, so we just make sure we follow these. Don't want to cut in, just keep in the lane, signal to exit and keep right. Now at the end of this, just after the traffic lights, there is some arrows saying basically filter back into the left hand side. Now if there is cars coming through, you've just got to be acting like it's a zip, so it's a merge in turn if you like. Up Ormsby Bank, down Ormsby Bank in a second. With this particular part of the route, it is important that we are not accelerating too harsh to get the speed up going up the bank. We want to get it to 30 miles an hour, but we don't want to be pushing it too much, because as we come over the other side of it, we start to go down, the speed can start to increase. So you want to make sure that we're controlling that speed on the decline. Using second gear to get moving again. The gravity's going to do the job for me. Now, we are now going to be turning right onto the A174. So we've just got to watch for the road signs. You see there we've got the car that's merging from the A174. We're going to be getting onto it, so we're going to check our middle mirror, right mirror. We're going to signal to the right, watch for the hatch markings, and then we're going to pull in into the filter lane. Now we've got cars coming towards us, so let's just hold the position. You've got to make a judgment call. If you feel that you can get out in front of those cars safely, then you might want to do that if you're being able to do it safely. So now we're looking to merge onto the A174, get up to speed as quickly as you can. We're looking to get up to around a minimum of 50 miles an hour before that. And the speed limit is 70 miles an hour as it's dual carriageway. Now we have got some slightly wet conditions. It has been raining quite heavily, so I want to make sure that my spacing behind the car in front, or the vehicle in front, is safe. So I'd be looking around about 4-second gap if I can. Actually catching up to this van because I'm just shy of 70 miles an hour now, so I do want to overtake it. Don't be afraid to do any overtaking on your test. It's absolutely fine. You'd be expected to do it to be making progress if there's a slow car in front of you. You need to make sure you're doing it when it's safe. Now it looks like that van sped up a little bit, so I was catching it and now I'm not, so I'm going to just abandon it, slide it back over. And what I'll do is I'll just increase the space again, follow the distance. As we're approaching the roundabout, we are going to be heading towards T-Spot. So it is the second exit. Turning left is the second exit. Now, obviously, with it being the second exit, we're not going to signal on approach. We're just going to get our speed down. It is light controlled. Just at the exit before the one that you want, and there we go, back onto it. So again, this is a dual carriageway, it is national speed limit, you would be expected to be making progress on this road. Now it can appear that, or feel like you are going more quickly than you actually are, and that's generally because the lampposts that are in the central reservation are quite close together and they're quite low as well, so it makes you feel like they're whipping past faster than they're actually going. Just keep an eye on your speed. You'll be fine on this part. Again, anything that you need to overtake, if you can get past it safely and get back over to the left, good. Now at this next roundabout we are turning left, it's the first exit and we're heading in towards Grangetown. Again, this is all light controlled. So I'm checking my middle mirror, my right mirror, sorry, my left mirror. I'm going to signal to the left. Start to slow down now. Now we're hitting a 40 mile an hour speed limit, but a little bit further on it does change down to 30, so you're going to get the speed up, you've got to be prepared to drop it down again. And you want to do it as smoothly as you can. You don't want any harsh braking, realising that as soon as you hit the 30 mile an hour sign, you're bound to really put the brakes on to slow your car down. Now we at the roundabout, we are following the road ahead. It is the second exit. On this roundabout there are 2 zebra crossings, one on this road on approach and one on the exit road as well. So as we're going around the roundabout, we've got to be watching for any pedestrians that might be looking to cross the road across the multiple junctions. Keep your speed nice and controlled as you're coming around there. That way, if anybody does approach those zebra crossings to cross the road, you've got ample time to stop. You're not going too quick. You're not having to brake harshly and react. Watch for things coming around the roundabout. Everything should be good. At the roundabout, going straight ahead again, it's the second exit. On the decline here, we've just got to make sure, again, we're controlling that speed. We don't want to be speeding up too much. Keeping it in third gear is going to really control your speed. Keep your hand with that, so you can use a degree of venture braking to control that speed. Now, as we're coming around again, second exit, signal. And then we have some pedestrians looking across at the mouth of the junction, so we do have to stop and should be giving way to them. So we're going to keep following the road ahead. Now you can see the sign on the left hand side. It tells you which lane you should be in. We're going to be in the left-hand lane heading towards Middlesbrough and Stockton. Watch for any cars coming up on your left-hand side as you sort of sliding it over by watching in your mirrors. And that next set of traffic lights at the crossroads, we are following the road ahead. Now there is a queue of cars there, but nothing in the right hand lane, and at this junction we can use either lane to follow road ahead. So I'm going to use the middle lane. I'm going to get past some of these cars. I'm going to use the space a little bit more efficiently, and a little bit further on you might be able to see that the road does filter back into the left hand side. Take the next road on the right, it's at the traffic lights. So I'll be checking my middle mirror, my right mirror, when the signal's to the right. Then I'm going to use the filter lane. Okay, the lights are already on red, so I am going to be slowing the car down. And they are changing, but there is a queue of traffic. I don't want to be speeding up to it again, doing harsh braking. I want to keep things nice and controlled and nice and smooth. I was getting to the point where those cars are coming through. I've not got a space to get past them or get around the junction. I'm just going to wait. And again, we looked into the junction as we were turning. We saw the Mercedes there was braking to turn into that car park on the right. So I controlled the speed coming through. we are taking the next road on the right. So get all the mirror checks, middle mirror, right mirror, signalling to the right. Start slowing the car down. It is on a bit of a bend. Looking into the junction, you can see there's a little bit of a dog-leg bend on it. So we're just going to look into it, see what we can see as we're approaching it. Because once we're into the junction, or to the point of turn into the junction, we can't really see what's going on. So the earlier that we can look into it and see what's going on, the better. I didn't see anything coming through, so we should be good to go. And then we're going to take the next road on the left. This is going to take us into Webb Road. On this road you might be asked to do one of your reverse manoeuvres, which could be the pull up on the right. At the end of the road, we're turning left. So again, mirror checks and signal. Adjusting the speed and the gear probably first, because it is a closed junction on the right hand side. Nothing coming, keep the car moving, and we're out of the junction. And at the end of the road, we're turning right. Again, middle mirror, right mirror, signal to the right, to your position. The more that you can use your hazard drill while we're doing your junctions, and don't forget them. I mean, that is quite a lot of faults that you can avoid just by following the hazard drill. Again, we're going to take the next road on the left, heading back into Maxwell Road. So again, mirrors, signal, get your speed down. It's quite a tight corner and it's a narrow road. I usually tell my learners to get into first, keep the control in, just so we can get that quite tight into the curb and come through. Now don't forget, on a weekday you might have cars parked up on the right, cars going into and out of the test centre. So it can be quite busy. We want to make sure that we can react to anything that we need to. And with reversing manoeuvres, make sure you are controlling your speed. Don't try to race it. It's not a race. We want the control. If I tell my learners, get the speed down, speed will give us the control, that control will give us the accuracy. Okay, and there we have it. So that was the second trial route, taking in Flats Lane, heading down towards the A174 and back towards the Test Centre. If you found it useful, drop a comment, always appreciated. I'd like to see if the videos that I'm doing are helping people, and if you like what you've seen, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, drop a like, it's all appreciated. You can also follow me on Facebook, and I do have Instagram as well, so take a look at those. Again, always appreciated. And again, if you like the video, keep an eye out for more that are going to be coming through. Thanks very much, and see you again next time.